Hello and welcome to Fix Your Boat. Captain's Log. Date is 28th of April 2024 and I've got an action-packed episode for you today. Now, previously I made the mistake of trying to resolve all of my thoughts and not just jot them down, which meant that I went a long time without making any Fix Your Boats. So this is a shooting from the hip kind of take. Doesn't mean the content is any less. In fact, things are moving so rapidly at the moment that it's just difficult for me to keep up with myself. What do I mean by that? Well, it's going to sound bonkers, but the universe is revealing itself to me. I would say that's all I can say. And it's all incredibly personal. It's all to do with the way that my personal mental life unfolds and presents itself to me, and the way that insights over things which I've more or less given up on resolving, personal issues, are coming into focus. And whereas I had retained some anxiety and attachment to material things, now that I'm a year and a half into being broke-ass poor, I don't give a crap as long as I've got some food to eat and water to drink during the day and things to do. That's all you need. And it just underlines the fucking madness that I was involved in, that everybody's involved in. The bullshit of the merry-go-round, the demented existences that people are leading, which is increasingly leading to the demented, distorted politics, the insanities that we see, the net zero, the whole battle, the culture wars, everything. It's because we're cut off from nature. So, mostly people make a YouTube channel to say, I'm really fucking good at this. I recommend you do it this way. I'm not in the position of saying that, or I didn't think I was, but maybe I am. Because all I'm saying is I am rescuing myself from an enormous failure, and I haven't yet done so. That's different. But you get to watch it in real time, lucky people. So the outcomes, the results are not yet in, are they? It could be like the 2020 election, God forbid, where the polls just... Well, no, there's no subterfuge here. There's no cheating. This is actually live and direct, how it actually is. What I'm saying, so you can't. I can't say come and do what I'm doing. I would say to you, fucking don't come and do what I'm doing. Don't sell your house, get a boat, and launch yourself into a chaotic world where everything that you were familiar with has gone, and you are in free fall, and you therefore have to acquire another boat in order to preserve your capital and to try and salvage something from the situation, and then you get enmeshed in restoring that boat which you fucking know nothing about, and you become a completely impractical hothouse flower during your time tapping away at a keyboard with the sun rising in one window and setting in the other window, and ordering all your food on Grab or Amazon or whatever you use over there, dialing in your food. No. I would heartily disrecommend it. However, you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I think the upside of it has been that it's been a very real experience and it's demanded a real response. But let's look at it this way, mate. If I've gone through a day and I'm not further in debt at the end of the day, which I'm not, which means I'm living in my means, modest as they are, I've beaten you on that day. I've beaten you because I get to think about anything that I want to think about all day long. I get to order that day. I have freedom. I have agency. I have sovereignty. And the boat gives me sovereignty. So I'm not completely fucked because I've got a boat. and I'm the captain of that boat. I'm the master of this vessel, and this is my world, 100%. And this is my world, 100%. I don't have to give anything to Caesar right now. Very, very little. You know, I've got to get my visa done every year and check my address in every 3 months. You know, that's pretty lightweight administration. I'm not having to administer a household and deal with tax returns and all of that fucking bollocks. So, yeah, there's an upside to everything, but the most staggering dimension to it is how your mind eventually, when you leave behind the attachments and the concerns, reconstitutes itself in a way which I much prefer. Well, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. It's, you know, a dry ship's biscuit which you've got versus a banquet of lobster and fine wine, which is what I've got mentally at the moment. And I would never go back, despite the fact that you know, I've got my challenges, you know. And all of, you see, this is the great fallacy. The great fallacy of the Western world, I'm here to tell you from my holier-than-thou fucking position on my fucking boat. The great fallacy of the Western world is that you can fix everything with reason and science. No, you can't. No, you'll just be spinning round like a hamster on a wheel. You'll be in your maze. The true nature of the world is the ineffable, mysterious right brain, the eternal, the spiritual. You need all of that to be a whole person. That would be what I would say. And, you know, the material distractions are a huge danger. And you can't prescribe for other people in medicine or psychology or even economically or from the social sciences to tell people how to run their lives. This is why governments are getting more and more involved in people's lives. They're trying to fix this problem because we all know there's something wrong. And what is wrong is that we are out of contact with nature and out of contact with ourselves. There's a huge job to be done just to look after your own mind, just to shepherd your own brain in this egg and spoon race that we're in, not to spill your egg. You know, everybody in the West has spilt their egg and they're fumbling around on the floor looking for it, you know. And it's, to make it worse, it's a three-legged race as well, I suspect. But in other countries, in this country, they have not dropped their egg, okay? And it is a great place to be. And the world is the derangement of the West is a very public example of what goes wrong when you go too far down the rationalist, scientific, modern route. And I advise everybody to cast off all your worldly goods and do something incredibly rash, and you know, chase the rabbit to another country like I have. Well, I don't. I'd say no. Try and figure it out where you are. This is a broadcast. I've got the luxury of doing this, so I'm doing it so you don't have to. Let's say that much. But there is a message there. But the quality and the power of the revelations and the quality of my experience, I know this is going to sound mad, I don't give a shit, is such that it's all of incredible personal significance to me. I couldn't possibly explain it to you. It will not get beyond my event horizon. You might see a little glimmer of Hawking radiation on the outside of it, and that's all I can offer you, I'm afraid. But I can say that, yeah, there is another world. We are doing it wrong. We need to stop and rethink it. I'd also add money is a big part of the problem. And I think I will return to that, to the issues of financialisation and definancialisation, as I continue to lecture people who aren't even listening anyway. That is now my role in life, and I'm very proud of it. And also, I'm writing poems, as I said, and songs, which I'm pleased with. I will organise them into a catalogue. Wrote one poem, and I published it yesterday just to my great friend Betty, a lovely South African lady who is a matriarch in her family, and she resides at the hotel in Phuket called Shanti Lodge. Absolutely wonderful hotel, just absolutely wonderful. And I unveiled it to her, and it was appreciated. I thought, oh, I'll let it go, because the subject matter is difficult. The subject matter is about being egg-bound, constipated, not being able to go. But that's a deeply human experience, and it was a challenge to write a poem about it without being a bit gruesome. But I think it's entertaining, and I'm going to include that at the end. Also today, especially this is bonanza, this episode, we've got a science experiment, which I don't know. I'm a scientist, okay, so I don't know the result. I haven't run the experiment yet, but I'm going to run the experiment tonight. I need night, and I need a night without rain. I think I do need a night without rain, and I'll set the experiment up. I'll do a little video. I'll film that being done, and it's to measure the greenhouse effect. So, very interesting experiment. I think you will like it, and there'll be a bit. I've done a little video, as I said, on the work that I'm actually doing on the actual Fix Your Boat, the actual tiny little sliver of this program that's about actually fixing your boat, because that is still going on. That's a tiny little plot in this mammoth, all singing, all dancing production about Greg's brain. Okay, there is a tiny little amount of it reserved for the practical process of fixing your boat. Because if I don't fix my boat, I can't fix my life, and we won't fix the world. See how it works? See you in a minute. Right, what have we here? We have two boxes, two polystyrene cool boxes, which are normally used to put ice in to keep things cool, and they're very effective. They'll keep a bag of ice really for a couple of days, so that you can chill your beers or your prawns or whatever it is you're chilling. On this occasion, that we're using sand, 2 inches of sand at the bottom of the box. One box, which is the control box on the left, the polystyrene lid will be replaced, and it will be further insulated on the lid with the aluminium sheet that you see there. The other box, a thin cling film lid will be created, which is impervious to IR radiation, and the temperature gauge, the temperature sensor that you see there, the electronic one, which is very accurate, will be inserted through the polystyrene box into the sand at intervals in each box in order to measure the temperature of the sand. The prediction is, according to greenhouse gas theory, there is an enormous amount of IR radiation coming down from the clouds, back radiation, radiative forcing, up to 200 watts per square metre or more. Certainly here in the tropics, where we have massive clouds at this time of year, massive cloud cover, and very hot days, there should be, according to this theory, a huge amount of radiation. That should warm the sand in the cling film box because it creates a greenhouse effect within the box itself, i.e. the air is warmed and insulated from escape by the cling film. The temperature should rise. As far as I can see, simple as it is, this should get to the bottom of whether there is any IR radiation effect upon the warming of materials such as sand. Thank you. Right, so this is the state of the cockpit floor at the moment. As you can see, it's old teak, and the Sikaflick, which is the rubber insulating compound in between the teak. As you can see, it's very proud of the teak, and I'm having to remove it in this way. And then I will be sanding down the teak and trying various things to bring some colour and life back to it. So we'll use this as a baseline comparison. Thank you. 8:15 a.m. A rising tide of coffee. Crisp broadsheet tucked under the arm. This day should be a win. Head to the Batcave. Let the ceremony begin. 8:30 a.m. No sign of the morning express. A creeping exasperation and odd quietness. Like an abandoned railway station. A page of yesterday's news blows across the platform. This is not the norm. Where normally the crowds jostle to get through the turnstile, there are none. On a large poster, I see the Joker's eerie smile. A church of empty pews, an echoing crevasse, a barren shelf, a wind-howling tundra underneath my lonely aspect of self. Stick with it. Keep the mind busy whilst the minions toil. A watched pot will never boil. I wonder how many jobbies are done on the planet every day. 8 billion, I guess. 6 inches average length, laid end to end. That's 4 billion feet. Divide by 3.3. That's over 1 billion meters. Then by 1,000, that's 1 million kilometers. This interplanetary jobby extending from the globe should exit the heliosphere and enter interstellar space in 50 years. That's the same speed as Voyager 1. Now, the nearest star is Proxima Centauri, 4.24 light years away. What am I thinking? Whither the usual magic? I must wonder why. Where the fine ebony stallions with livery of tan dancing across the porcelain sky? Or the dull U-boat, another regular classic. Fire aft torpedo! Ja, Herr Commandant! And other beasts Jurassic. Wait, a distant rumble. Bring the thunder, O mighty Thor! The end of the Foley War, the end of strife. Mighty Merlin engines start into life, cough and begin to splutter. Here comes the bad butter. Wait, there's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Gas! Gas! Quickly, lads! Oh, hearts aflutter! Oh, and another, a real daisy cutter, an ecstasy of fumbling, opening the clumsy window flaps just in time. Wait, the distant drum of hooves over the horizon. The cavalry is coming to smash through the line and dash for glory. The Chattanooga Express brings an end to this story. Peace in the afterglow. A penumbra of satisfaction spreads, more complete than any other we know. No need to self-admonish, restored self-respect. One to wipe and one to polish, turn to inspect. For in the mental pantheon of personal battles won, this shall be among my cloudy trophies hung.